We're going live. We are going live. We're officially live. Okay, I should be getting the notification. I did post this on Twitter and on Discord and all that stuff. Okay, I do want to set some expectations before the stream really kicks off, and I'm gonna post it in the actual chat as well. Where we might get some stutters, and that just computer limitations and the internet right now isn't the most stable, so I do want to apologize for that. So let me write that in the chat. Some stutters and maybe due to equipment. Because what I did do is I ran some test streams personally. Oh god, that looks terrible. Ugh. The chat looks awful. Let me see if I can fix that real quick. Because I don't like that at all. I do not like that one bit. So let me fix that. Okay, so if I select a color. Actually, if I just do this. If I do that. Is that better? Not really. And I just wish there was a better way to use that. If I get rid of you, yes, get rid of you. You're gonna get the ugly screen. So if I do, ooh, no, I don't want that. No color. I'm gonna make it. If I do that, okay, and then I do this. And then do that. Is that better? I think that might be better. I have to make it bigger. Anyways, so just to taper that off, my computer, the computer I have, okay, it's not helping anymore, and just I'm not gonna have a good time. Okay, it's just no matter what I did, like in the testing. It was somewhat smooth for a little bit, okay? But then it like dips and then it comes back and then dips again. So it's just a lot of factors that are happening. Why? Is it just because you're further? No, that makes no sense. Help the inconsistency with the internet because the actual router is like across the house, right? It's on the other side of the house. And so sometimes I have to use like an extension, right? Well, a Wi-Fi extender and where it's actually at. You get like a second router and put it in here, but that's like if I do that, that's like way in the future. Okay, but for now, let's just hope that it works consistently. Because if not, I'm gonna be sad. I mean, I'm streaming, and then everything went to hell afterwards. So, properly. I mean, I could probably do like some cropping, maybe potentially. If I had a filter, if I do a crop, just so I can get rid of like the top portion. We don't need the top shot. Let me do. I go to the top and then get rid of all that. Go just like that. I think that's fine. We can move down here. Okay. It still looks a little weird, a little off for me personally speaking, but hopefully you guys are able to see it good. So, oh. Okay, so. Please configure both primary and backup streams correctly. The comparison of the stream scope between one of the streams and valid queries. I don't know what that means. I have no idea what any of that means. Okay, so we're just gonna go ahead. Okay, so far it looks okay. The chat looks a little weird, but there's not much I can do for now. So we're just gonna go ahead and start, right? If you guys can hear me good, then we'll be okay. If you can hear me good, obviously let me know so that I can fix it and all that stuff. So let me go ahead and fix this real quick. So like I mentioned in the chat, there's gonna be some stutters, but this one is a little just like the equipment is not up to par. Okay, and I don't have the funds right now for a brand new like computer setup, so it is what it is. Okay, it is what it is. But I'm hoping to at least be able to give you guys a stream today. Okay, that's my goal. That's my plan for today. So let's hope that it works as intended. Okay, somewhat. So, what are you doing? Something's going on here. If I do this, okay. If I go, get that in. All right, perfect. So. Done. This is done. This is good. Everything should be good for now. Hopefully, it mellows out for you all. So, to give you guys some context of what the game plan for now is, right? I'm not gonna go over everything that happened in yesterday's stream because that's excessive for me to talk about all that shit again. So, I'll give you guys an idea of how it led me to what this topic is, right? What the thumbnail of the stream is, right? This one and the last one, technically, because it's the same stream. It's just that hopefully today's it actually goes right, and we don't have issues like we did yesterday. Okay, so by the time I found this show, I was like really invested in like a bunch of stuff. Like I was doing what was it? I had like a setup I made for myself, right? It was on my old like iPod Touch. Okay, this is how old this shit is, you know, for me as a person, right? And iPod Touch, I think it was like one of the second to last generations before they stopped making those the way they used to before, and they just had like the iPhone be the new iPhone, the iPod Touch, stuff like that. And like they went that whole route, so now like the iPod Touches from like the future are like these tiny things that look like the old iPod Minis. But anyways, so back all the way back then, I had notes written down of like shows that I wanted to watch. So I still kind of do something similar to this, except I'm more limited in what I decide to watch. But what I would do is I would scour the internet for different types of shows for a variety of genres, right? And then I would compile them in a list. And what I would do is that I would watch them in like a sequence of like I would pick like between 2 to 3 shows. Sometimes if I felt like I could do more, then I would do a fourth one. And then like I would do it like a rotation where I would watch like 2 episodes of one, and then I would watch 2 episodes of the next one, and 2 episodes of the one after that, and 2 episodes of that, and then I would like cycle between them, right? That was the whole game plan for this stuff. And I found this one, and the I will admit, okay, this is gonna come off as a little bit of like hypocritical for me, right? As a person who's been a very huge advocate that animation and visuals aren't like the end all be all for a show's quality and how good it is. But I will admit that the visuals are the thing that drew me in. Okay, a little bit of the lore. I can't even talk. The lore, the plot. Like I didn't know too much in depth. I did read like a small synopsis before. I used to do that with all my shows, and I still do that now. Where I would read like a small synopsis of what the series is about, and then depending on whether I enjoyed what I read and if it sounded interesting, or even if it wasn't like completely out there, but there was like something about it that intrigued me, then I would go ahead and write it down on my list, right? And for this show in particular, like I said, the visuals really drew me in. That was number one. And then the synopsis for it is, you know, the whole like people from the ocean having to adapt with living on land. Drove me a little bit, but the main aspect behind it is it was one of like the first like true like what I feel like are the romance shows, right? That kind of like drew me in. And by then, I don't remember the other shows that I had around it. Okay, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't remember every show that I was watching during that time. I know I have a lot of my old anime times were around this era of my anime watching scenarios. So like I would have to go back into like my history on the channel to find out roughly what I was watching around the time that I was watching this show. But I will admit that this show in particular probably like stood the test of time. Okay, out of every show that I've watched, okay, and I've watched my fair share. I know I'm not like the most avid anime watcher. I know a lot of people have watched way more animes than I have. Okay, and I understand that I kind of came into it late. Okay, because when I really started like going all out was in college, because now that I had the capacity and the ability to do it, right? That's and I had the motivation, I should say, also. I was able to delve into anime. So I will admit I don't have the most experience out of everybody. Okay, there might be other shows out there that are, and I should say this. I know for a fact there are other shows out there that are definitely better than this anime. But in my mind, okay, everybody has this. Everybody has that one show that they can say, like, no matter what other things have over it, no matter what other things have similar to it, that'll always like hold a special place in your heart. You know, that type of stuff. So like, it's like that one show that you can always go back to and be like, you know what, I love this, no matter what happens. Okay, and when I started watching this show, I had that feeling. Like, I felt a strong connection to all the characters in the show, right? And not only that, but I felt the connection to the world itself and the lore that was going on, the intertwined stories that were happening. You know, I really felt connected to everybody in this show. And the problem is that back then I had a very bad mindset when it came to how I viewed myself as an anime fan, right? Because in my mind, I always thought, it was a long time before I got over this hurdle. Okay, I will admit that this is like an internalized bias that I had inside me, where I always had the mindset of the longer you've been watching a series, or the longer you've been invested in a show or a medium or whatever it is, then that carries a lot more weight when it comes to your affinity to something, right? So, considering the fact that this series is technically short, okay, it's only like 25 episodes, and I always like, even though I had this like strong urge to it, right? I always put it in the back of my mind. It's like, well, I've been watching this longer. I've been watching this longer. I've been watching this longer. Blah, 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 blah. And that was my mindset. So like, I think I made a top 10, a little after or around the time I was watching this series. Actually, it might have been after I finished watching the show. Where I said that my favorite show back then was Pokemon. Okay, and the only reason why I did that, and like I think like number 2 was Naruto, right? And the only reason why I said those two shows were at like the top of my favorite animes of all time, okay? Now, this wasn't like, oh, my favorite animes of the year like I used to do, and I kind of fucked up and I didn't do it like back in 2023, and I feel bad about it. Okay, don't come at me if you want, but I do still feel bad about that because I had it for 2022, and then like I was like ready to do it for 2023, and I didn't fucking do it. Okay, that's besides the point. Okay, that's besides the point. But what I want to state that is, when I did that initial like, oh, these are my favorite animes of all time, right? Because that's what I did that one time, and that was like fucking close to 10 years ago at this point. Okay, it's been a long ass time since I made that video. Okay, it's out there in the channel, like way deep in the trenches, because I have so much content on this channel. It's ridiculous. The only reason why I put Pokemon and Naruto as like number 1 and number 2 is because in my mindset I was like, okay, well, I've been watching Naruto by then, like close to 10 years, and I had been watching Pokemon my whole life, right? Because I've been watching the show since it aired, right? So that was my mindset and all that stuff. Like, it's like, because I've been watching it longer, that means I like it more, which is kind of like an idiotic statement, because to this day, I can safely say like Pokemon, as much as I love Pokemon, okay, don't get me wrong, but as a whole, okay, I can definitely say like it barely ekes out top 10, like barely, and that's only because like some of those seasons really elevated a lot, and like Horizons is really pulling a lot of weight for Pokemon right now, okay, so even if the last episode that I watched was last week's, wasn't the best, okay, and I'm not looking forward to today's episode. I don't even know if it's out yet, but that's besides the point, okay. Most of Horizon has been good so far, so it helps elevate the Pokemon series a lot. So that's probably why, like, if I ever do another like overarching like top 10 of all times for me personally, like Pokemon would like barely make it in. And like even to this day, I know that I would say Naruto is probably above Pokemon, but that's just because I felt a lot more of a connection to the franchise. But that's besides the point. That's not what this whole fucking stream is about. But I want to give you guys that history lesson of, realistically speaking, when I made that video way back then, this show should have been on. And it wasn't until I got over that biases that I had of like, oh, because you've been watching it longer, that means you like it more. And I broke out of that mold. This show like immediately jumped the ranks, okay? And the show I'm talking about, finally saying it for you all on this stream, is Nagi-no-Asu Kara, or Nagi-Asu A Lull in the Sea, okay? Which is the thumbnail of this stream. It's in the fucking, whatchamacallit, what the fuck are they called? The word escapes me, okay? I'm not gonna go out on a limb here trying to say all this shit. But, that's the Japanese and the English name, okay? And, like, this show truly has, like, a strong grasp of me, okay? Like, when I first watched it, I loved it from the start, okay? Let me say that right now. Like, I really like the characters off jump, okay? And, like, it wasn't until, like, the halfway point, like, literally, like, when it went from, like, this upbeat, like, crazy shenanigans type of show, which is how it starts, right? And, like, that's the feel I was getting, that's what it was supposed to be. But then, like, the halfway point hits you, and it just, like, beats you over the head with, like, this, like, intense emotional moment. And, like, from then on, it becomes, like, this, like, drama-centric show of, like, dealing with loss and overcoming obstacles and trying to get back into what your home is. Like, I'm getting chills just remembering those scenes, man. Like, cause I will say, like, the pivotal moment where I can for sure say that everything, like, came to head is, and this is spoilers, okay? I'm gonna spoil I'm not gonna say that because that sounds rude. I'm gonna try my best to not spoil the show as much as possible, okay? But I'm gonna give you guys a brief synopsis of the show and then talk about the scene that really, like, got to me, okay? And then we'll go from there, okay? So, to start off, we have our group of, like, first 4 kids, okay? Hikari, Manaka, Chiuna, and Sumugu. Those are our 4 ocean children, okay? They live in this underwater ocean, okay? Well, they live in the ocean. And there's an underwater city that lives near a shore. And obviously, because that's what that's what makes sense. But they're connected, okay? These places are connected. Now, the whole lore behind this whole area is in the before times, okay? All the people came from the ocean, right? All the people were living in the ocean. They live in the ocean. They breathe the ocean. They breathe all this stuff, right? And they had a god, the sea god, right? And people started living in the land, right? People started living in the land, right? And the sea god was, like, enamored with one lady, right? And then, but the lady was in love with somebody else on land, right? And so what he decided to do was take her, and her man on land committed suicide trying to get her. Okay, this is a rough lore here going on, right? And what ended up happening is that the sea god, because the lady wasn't happy, right? She was miserable. He decided to let her go back to land. However, her man is dead. So now she's just depressed, and the sea god is upset, and a bunch of shit started going on, right? So ever since then, the land dwellers have to do a ritual to appease the sea god, right? Every once in a while, they have to do a ritual to appease the sea god because he everything got fucked up, right? So what ends up happening is that this festival starts losing, cultural relevance, because that's what happens. Over time, people forget culture and traditions and stuff like that, right? So for a while, at the beginning, they would sacrifice actual women, right? But it got to the point where they started sacrificing like wooden statues and shit like that. And the sea god ain't having that no more. So he's starting getting tired of these wooden offerings, right? So around the point of the actual story, right? The kids' school is basically non-existent at this point. Okay, the underwater school is done for, so now they have to transfer the land, and then the hijinks ensued where the sea people have to like deal with the land people, and the hijinks there. People don't like each other because they're like two opposite extremes, right? They're not from the same place. The sea kids have to constantly like get themselves like hydrated, otherwise their skin dries and their scales start flickering off. And the thing is that the scales that they have are what allows them to breathe underwater. So when they get dry, they can't breathe. And it's just a mess. Okay, so the first half of the series is just a bunch of that shit, right? I'm trying to get them to coexist with each other, right? And it's not doing good. Now, around the time that this happens, we're introduced to the rest of the main cast, which is basically everybody that's on the, like, if I open the thumbnail, right? I think I have it here. Did I save it over here? It might be in the other screen. Let me check. It might not be in here. No. Maybe over here. Let me check. I want to be able to show you guys to make it easier. So where's my pictures, thumbnails? Can I open it? Perfect. So here's what I'm gonna do, just to give you guys like the let me do, if I do media source, I think, image, I think that's what I need to do. Image file, browse, pictures, thumbnails, this one. Okay, now, oh god, that looks way too big. Okay, so I wonder if I can interact with it to show you. Can I? I don't know if I can. Properties. No. Filters? No, I can't filter it. But okay, hold on. Maybe if I do it as a media source instead. Hold on. Let me try that. Let me get rid of you. Cause I wanna give you guys like actual visuals of what I'm doing. Media source. Okay, so if I do that and then I locate the file for pictures, thumbnails. Oh crap, can I do it this way? Or is it because of pictures doesn't work? No. Fuck! Oh, what if I do like an actual like window capture, right? Will that help? If I do that, photos, maybe. Will that work? Not showing up. Oh wait, hold on. Maybe because it's too small. Wait, what if I do capture method? Windows like that. Is that working? I don't think it's working. That's not helping at all. Okay, let me try something else. Because there has to be a way for me to show you this, right? There. Okay, so pictures, thumbnails. Can I open you in a different way? Open with paint. I don't know if it look good, but I'll try. Let's see. Let's see if this works, because I want to be able to give you guys an idea of what the fuck I'm talking about here. So we'll do a window capture. There it is. Okay, that looks way too big. Okay, and you can't even see me anymore. So I'm gonna do this. Can I not interact with this? Maybe, can you? I don't know if you can see the. I'm gonna try something. Okay, you should be seeing it right now. Okay, I'm pretty sure you should be seeing it right now. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna show you guys what the whole point is. So if I grab, I'm gonna grab a pencil. Can I do? Yeah. I think you can see that. Can you see that? Okay, I'm gonna put it there. Let's do this. Okay, so I can see the thing. So here's what I'll do. I'll show you guys the main like characters here. Okay, so this kid here is the main character. This is Hikari. He's the main protagonist of the actual show, right? Well, him and Monica, but we'll talk about him first. So Hikari is like the stereotypical like bad boy wannabe, where it's like I don't care about nobody, like I'm the best, and like the people of the ocean are the best. If I move, you probably see it. There we go. I'll sit over here, that way you guys can see me while I talk. Okay, so Hikari's the big boss. Like he's the leader of like the sea kids. Okay, he's the one that's the boss. Okay, he's cool. I like him. Okay, Monica is obviously the one that's like the big. Her. That's Monica. She is the female lead of the show, technically speaking. Okay, and she's also like the catalyst for a lot of shit that happens in the show. Okay, this is Sumugu right here. This is like the land dweller who causes everything to get fucked up. Okay, well, he causes a lot of drama to happen. Okay, then you have her. This is Chisaki, who was like my favorite at the beginning, and then like I was a little iffy with her in the halfway point, and then I just loved her. I really did. Okay, this is Kaname. Okay, he's the last of the sea kids, right? So if we go back, so Hikari, Monica, Chisaki, and Kaname are like the 4 kids that transfer into the land school, right? And then you have this girl here, who's Miuna, and her best friend Sayu. Okay, these are the 4 or the final 2 like main characters that we really need to worry about for this segment that I'm talking about. Now that you've seen all their faces, I'm getting rid of those things so I can actually talk to you without feeling like I'm squished trying to get fit in the camera and shit like that. So you can go ahead. Thank you so much for your services. So you saw all those. That's literally the entire cast of the show. Well, the entire cast of like the main characters. There's obviously like side characters and shit like that, right? Bunch of other stuff. So the beginning portion of the show is just a bunch of hijinks trying to get used to life in the new world, in a new area, new environment, all this other stuff that's happening, right? And then like Sumugo being the cool like foreign boy. That's literally the vibe they give him. Now his family tree does include people from the ocean, right? His grandfather is actually a person from the sea, and then he just now lives on the and then now he lives on land and shit like that. And then Muna and Sayu. Now they're important characters for a different reason, and realistically speaking, they don't start becoming truly important until like the second half. Or if you want to split it up, it's like season 1, season 2. But realistically speaking, it's one whole continuous story. So I don't know if you can really split it up that way. But they're really only truly important in the second half. Okay. So here's what the main like crutch that starts happening before we get to like the halfway point of the show, right? Hikari's sister, who is like way older than him, right? I think they're like 12 or 13. I can't recall their actual ages. I could probably look it up, but I'm not going to right now. But I'm pretty sure they're like 12 or 13 when the show begins, right? His sister's got to be like 18, 19. I don't recall. Something like that. She's much older, okay, than Hikari is. Now, the interesting thing is, the reason why Miuna and Sayu start appearing is that Miuna is the daughter of Hikari's sister's boyfriend, which is there's like I need to look up these ages again because I don't fucking remember. I want to confirm that what I'm thinking right now is not completely wrong, okay? Because like, bruh, this is starting to get a little bit more spicy than I initially anticipated. I still like the show regardless. But now that I look at it, how old is Akiri? Let me see. She's got to be in her 18. She's got to be 18 or some shit like that, right? Please tell me she's at least 18. She's got to be over 18, honestly, realistically. She's got to be in her 20s. The only comfortable way I'll do this is if she's actually like in her 20s. Otherwise, what I'm about to talk to you guys about is going to be like, Thor-san, what the fuck is this shit? Okay? How old is Akari? I hope it tells me in the wiki. Because it might not even tell me at all. Right? So she's 20. Okay, she's 20. How old is her boyfriend? Because he's gotta be like way up there. Okay, it's not that bad. He's only 22. Okay, I thought he was way older. Because Miuna, I think that might have mean that he had Miuna when they were younger. Yeah, because she's 9. So if he's 22... If he's 22 and she's 9, god damn, they had that kid. They had that baby. They were really young. Okay. Okay, hold on. I do need to confirm what I'm thinking suspiciously here. Okay. Yeah, she died, but how old was she? Okay, it doesn't say how old she was when she fucking died. My point still stands. Okay, these people were definitely young. Because, let's see, 22 minus 9 is what, 14? 15? No, wait, 2, that's 7. The fuck? They really didn't think these ages through. Miuna's 9. He's 22 years old. Actually, I can look at something else. That'll probably help me a little bit more. Yeah, the fuck? These people were 13 when they had this child? Okay, now this is some fucked up. Maybe that's because the whole, like, water mythology or whatever the fuck, or the ocean shit, but like. Yeah, I just realized he was 13 when he had Miuna with his prior wife. Okay, the wife dies. Okay, let's just sit like that. She fucking dies, which leaves him to be an only father, a single father, right? And then he meets Akari, and then they start flinging shit. So they're dating by the time the series starts, and this causes friction, right? Because obviously Miuna doesn't like this chick because obviously her mom is her mom, and now like this fucking new chick's just suddenly showing up in her fucking life. Like, it's fucked up. Okay, it's very fucked up. So she doesn't like Akari at all. So she's trying to get her to go back to the water. And then like Sayu is just like the sidekick, right? She's just always there with whatever Miuna decides because Miuna's like the leader of like their friend dynamic. And then it turns into a clusterfuck, okay? So what ends up happening, like I said, I'm not trying to give too much detail into a lot of stuff. Akari is in like a in her mind it's a win-win situation in some sense. But it's also like a lose-lose for everybody else because the fact that is that the reason why the sea god is so upset and why there's so much fucking drama in people going to the land is that the sea people have their scales, right? Their Enna, as it's called, right? Which is what allows them to live underwater. Okay, it's the reason they're able to breathe underwater, and it's the reason they're able to exist underwater. When a person from the sea mates with a person from the land, the chances of that baby having Enna is like extremely low to the point where it's like such an insignificant number that is forbidden. Okay, they don't want to lose their ancestry, right? They don't want to lose their future because people are like, I don't want to live in the water, I want to live on land. So what ends up happening is that it creates a friction between Akari and her dad, and Hikari, obviously, to some extent, because Hikari hates the people of the land, right? That's why a lot of the fucking problems happen in the first half of the show. So what ends up happening is it's been a while since they've really done this whole like festival and shit like that. Things are going haywire. One of my favorite characters, I'm going to be honest, I love pretty much almost every character in this show. Okay, if I'm to be honest, I love practically every character in the show. However, there's one character who's like a fucking troll, but he is amazing. And I wish I could show you a picture of him but like I'm struggling just to get things happening. So there's like one character in the show which is like, so the sea god is an entity, right? We don't actually ever truly see the sea god except for like flashbacks of like the lore history that they do. So what happens is that we are talked to by like an emissary, not an emissary. Like he's sounding like a part of him. Okay, his name is Uroko. He's like a scale, right? That's what he calls it. He's like the scale of the sea god. He's like literally what happens is like one of the sea god's like scales broke off and floated around and became its own entity, and that's what Uroko is. But he's connected to the sea god, right? So basically, because of all the shit that's happening with people leaving the sea to go to the land and all the other shit that's happening, the end of the world is going to happen because the coexistence can't happen. They don't work properly. The sea people are being diminished, and it's going to cause chaos. The whole world's going to end, right? Which causes friction. Again, this, like I said, that's like when we start getting to that point in the show where it's like the halfway part, the halfway point, the halfway mark, if actually sounds better. All this fucking shit starts happening where he's just talking about the end of the world and all this shit. So Hikari is now in even more of a problems with his sister because she's like, you're leaving us is gonna cause the end of the fucking world. You fucking bitch. He never said that. They don't hate each other. They actually fucking love each other. But like, think of it like that. It is awful. It is terrible what's happening. So they decide to appease the sea god by doing the ceremony again. But they do a double twist, okay? What ends up happening in this portion of the show is that Akari is gonna marry her boyfriend, right? What the fuck is his name again? I'm blanking on his name. I'm gonna look it up real quick because I just had it too. So, he's not as relevant. Realistically speaking, like he's like if I really wanted to say anything, he's like the most unimportant character in terms of what he does in the actual show. Like he's important to the plot because he's like the catalyst for like the whole shit with Akari. But like in the grand scheme of things, he's just a guy. So Itaru is his name. Okay, listen, I like him too, but just like because he's a cool dad. Okay, now that I realize he was fucking 13 when he had his kid. Okay, that's a different story. But so they decided to do like a double thing. So they're gonna do the festival or the ceremony to like give the sea god the whole like event of like sacrificing the wooden things, but they're also going to do the wedding. So Akari decides to be like the sacrifice, but realistically she's not actually going to do sacrifice. At least that's not what their intentions is, right? And then at that same time they're going to have the wedding, you know, on the same day, right? They merge these events together, which will hopefully get the sea people and the human people together. And all this stuff, right? And this is where like a little bit of a spoiler happens, okay? And like, what builds into like some of the craziest shit I've seen. The animation was amazing in my mind, okay, for this section. So they do this. It's at night, right? The thing is at night, right? And Akari looks beautiful, right? She's got this like super nice robe and shit, right? She looks like the sea god. The original sea goddess, right? She's dressed in this outfit that's it's her wedding gown, but it's also like an attribute to the original woman that the god was, you know, in love with, right? And then they had like separate boats that had the actual sacrifice, which was the wooden statue, right? But like I mentioned before, earlier in the stream, the sea god wasn't having none of that shit, right? So he wasn't happy with these fucking wooden sacrifices anymore. And the fact that you're putting an actual real human woman on the boat gets him a little feisty, okay? It gets him a little feisty. So he literally causes a fucking storm to happen in this entire this one area, right? And then like giant whirlpools just start appearing. The people on the sea are like freaking the fuck out. They're like, what the fuck is going on? Right? And it's just it's a mess. Everything's going to hell, right? And like Akari actually falls in the water, which causes the sea god to get like even more frantic. Like, oh, now I got her. But then they save her. And then Monica falls in the water, and then Hikari falls in the water, Kaname falls in the water, Chisaki falls, but then she's saved by Sumugu, and like people are going crazy all over, like that shit literally goes to hell, right? And like Hikari's trying to save Monica because she's being dragged by the forces of the sea god and all that other shit. The sound is cutting out. Oh no, we don't want that. We don't like that at all. Like, how bad is it? Like, how bad are we talking about? Like, is it, like, really choppy, or... Like, is it my mic itself? Do I need to talk? Or is it just, like, the way the footage is working that it causes the auto to glitch? Like, give me some feedback before I talk about this next section. I'm waiting for you guys to tell me it's okay. Before I continue, because this next part is like really intense. What the fuck is this? Okay, we don't care about that. Like, is it better now? Like, are we good? Shall we continue? Yes? No? Maybe so? It's a little dark, isn't it? I wonder if I can make it lower. Brighter, maybe? Ooh. I wish I could have had a light maybe on the camera. But I'm waiting for you guys to give me the go ahead to continue. That's weird. See, it gets a little dark. I have a blue tint on my screen here. Okay, well, I'm going to assume it's okay, right? Because there's a lot that we need to continue forward. But if it starts getting choppy again, please let me know. Because, I don't know, everything looks okay on my end. So I want to hear from you that it's okay or not, right? So I'm going to continue forward. And here's what I wanted to... So like I mentioned, the sea god is not having any of this shit. So he literally drags Monica to like the bottom of the ocean. And I'm laughing, but realistically speaking, that fucking scene was tragic, okay? Hikari was trying so fucking hard. And it didn't go anywhere. It was not good at all. Okay, and like, basically, at that point, hell freezes over. Literally, the whole fucking place turns into like a fucking snowstorm, and now like the whole ocean is frozen, and like it's on like an eternal winter in the fucking town, and that's literally how the fucking first half ends, right? That's like the cutoff point, and I'm like, damn, that's fucking crazy, right? And the weird thing is, when the second half begins, we actually get a time skip. It's like 4 years. Way more than 4 years. It was 5 years, right? Okay. It's 5 years pass between what happened, the event that happened, and the present day. Right, so now 5 whole years since this shit happened. Like I said, now we're in eternal winterland, okay, on land, and the fucking whole ass ocean is frozen over. And so after 5 years, right, we don't see the time skip, we just see the aftermath of the time skip. Hikari actually comes to existence, right? He comes back to life per se, right? And like, he's just somewhere random in the ocean, right? When he gets saved, and then Kaname somehow appears as well, but he's like gone. Like his mind is just gone. And the problem that this entails, and this is what I meant, like the second half is like so deeply like traumatic and drama related, more so than the goofy shit that was happening in the first half. Okay, because now we're living in the aftermath, and I'm not gonna go like too spoilery into like the second half because I really want more people to watch this show. Right now it's on Netflix, so if you guys want to watch it, you can watch it there. It's also on Crunchyroll, and I don't know where else you can find it. I'm pretty sure you can find it. I highly, highly, highly recommend this series. Okay, so I'm not gonna spoil too much, but I am gonna give you guys some things for like the second half portion of it, and I'm also gonna say something I did in like I think I made a review. I'm pretty sure I made a review for this show like way, way back when. So I'm gonna give you guys that teaser as well, so that you can be like completely mindfucked when you actually see it, and you can see the interconnections and stuff. So by the time Kaname and Hikari come back to the surface, now again, it's been 5 whole ass years, but because they were under the ocean, they were actually basically frozen in time. So they never aged. So they're the same age they were from before the incident, right? Whereas everybody else that was on land aged 5 years. So now his sister is 25, right? So now she's like way older than him. And like Miona and Sayu are now the same age as Hikari and Kaname. By now Miona like really loves Akari, right? And it's also like a point of like contention because we find out the actual reasoning why she wanted to send Akari back to the water is because she loved her so much, and because she knew the history of her mom and why her mom died, right? Because she's from the ocean as well. So now all this shit's happening, and so she's gonna die, right? Basically, she fears that Akari's gonna die, and she doesn't want to lose another mom, right? Like I said, very interpersonal stuff here that's happening. Really, this second half is like what really solidified this as my favorite show of all time. Okay, the drama, the intensity, all the shit that fucking happens, bruh. Okay, so, and that's actually probably where my affinity to like the drama genre really started to kick off for me. Like, if there's like a drama show, I'm gonna probably enjoy a lot more than anything else, realistically speaking. So what ends up happening is they're both completely lost. They have no idea how to live in this new world. Like Kaname, who was like the upbeat character of like the first half of the show, where everything is like, he's always just trying to have a positive spin on everything. He's always trying to be the good kid, like always very happy, go lucky and shit like that. But it's realistically speaking just hiding his trauma that he has in the fucking he goes full on depression mode. Like he literally just wants to just die. Well, not realistically speaking, he does go to like a full depression phase where you would think he just wants to die, because he wants to just go back frozen because he can't stand what's happening. And Hikari's the same way. Like they both go through like this depression arc of like they lost 5 years of their lives. All this shit happened. 5 years have come and gone. Everybody has basically moved on, realistically speaking. Most of their classmates have graduated college and like are either in college or already working and stuff like that. Akari has a fucking child, right? So like just a bunch of shit has gone with them. So they can't, they're still stuck in the event. They're still stuck in that day. So like back to real life, right? It takes some time to do, and it's, you can really feel it. I at least me personally, I was able to connect with these characters and see the struggles and the emotions that we're going through, and like this is fucking roller coaster that they have to deal with now. They lost 5 years. All this shit happened, and so much stuff has changed, and for them, everything is the same. Like their minds are still stuck with how things used to be. So now seeing things that have been changed to 5 years, right? It's a lot to take in, right? It's a lot for these kids to take in. So what ends up happening is, at a certain point in the show, they're technically speaking able to rescue Monica. They're able to get her out from the cocoon that the sea god has her in. And then they like bring her back to life and shit, right? But she's acting weird, right? She's acting oblivious. Like her mind's not really fully there, right? So then it becomes onto like, oh, we need to find out what's going on. Like what's happened to Monica? Why is she like the way she is, right? What happened to her? Because everybody was fucked by this event, right? Don't get me wrong. Like everybody suffered this event. And this is like my favorite scene in the whole yeah, I could probably call it my favorite scene in the whole show, right? they can't find Uroko anywhere, right? He's the main person we need to talk to. He's, like I said, he's a part of the sea god. He's a scale of the sea god. He has the knowledge of the sea god because he's technically is the sea god. So they need to find him to talk, to find out what the fuck is going on, right? And they can't find, for the love of them, or for the life of them, that's the right one. For the life of them, they can't find him. Anyway, they're trying to look for him in you know, underwater, in the sea town that they live in, the sea village. Everybody, by the way, that's still stuck down there, they're all frozen in time. They literally went to hibernation mode. They're not there. Nobody who's down in the water, besides the 3 kids that we were able to rescue, which is our 3 main characters, or 3 of our main protagonists. Well, our 2 protagonists and like a side main character, right? Because Kaname is not really a protagonist, but he's like up there, right, in terms of importance to the show. Everybody else, like Hikari's dad, is like literally frozen in a meditation pose. Like, that's how bad this shit is. So everybody underwater is frozen. They're all frozen, hibernation, full on mode. Chisaki was, like I said, she stayed on land. She was saved. So she grew 5 years. And like, she's been living with Sumugu this whole time, and her grandpa and shit like that. And now this whole ass wave of emotions because her fucking friends are back. And like, it's just crazy shit. Okay, it's crazy shit that happens. And all this stuff is building, like I said, to my favorite scene of the whole show, right, is when Hikari and Muna are able to locate Uroko, right? They're able to find out where the fuck he is, and he's like in this like decrepit temple, like, well, not temple, like a shrine that's like in this middle of the fucking weird ass forest near the ocean. That for some reason nobody ever thought to look for him there. Technically speaking, Muna's the one that kind of got an idea of where he was. So what ends up happening is that Hikari and Muna confront him, right? They confront him. They want to know what the fuck is going on. And he spells it out for them again. You know, this all happened because you didn't listen to me, right? The end of the world is much closer now because of all this shit that happened, right? The event was a catalyst for what will be the end of the world. However, he does trying to make him feel better by saying, well, it's not going to happen in your lifetime or your children's lifetime. Hell, maybe even your grandchildren's lifetime. It'll be way in the future, but it's going to happen, right? That's, like, he's literally scaring these fucking children by saying all this shit. He's literally telling them it's the end of the world is happening. They fucked it all up. And that Manaka was a sacrifice, right? And the thing that happened is, like I said, this is like my favorite scene in the whole episode. This whole dialogue with Uroko and the fucking catalyst of everything that happened. And this is what I meant, like, Monica is like the catalyst for the whole fucking show. That's when she's like the second main character, right? Is that what ends up happening is that because they took her out of the fucking ocean, they took her out of the sea god's cocoon, where she's, you know, where he was keeping everything stable. The fact that they did that kind of split her in half, right? And I don't mean like physically, like in like her true self. What ended up happening is that the sea god basically took away her ability to love, right? Which is what her whole character is, realistically speaking. The embodiment of Monica is love and acceptance, and trying to be like a bridge between everybody else, right? Monica's always been that character for the group, right? Hikari's the leader. Chisaki is like the mom figure of the group. Kaname is like the cool, like mellow, like everything's chill kind of guy. And Monica is like the bridge between everything. So like Monica is the one that keeps everybody together. So the fact that the sea god practically took away this one section of her entire being is what basically removed what Monica is, right? So she still has some of her abilities to like be a bridge between the people, right, and her friend group and shit like that, but she doesn't have the capacity to do the above and beyond stuff, which is like what I said. her ability to love is what's able to allow her to connect with everybody. And because he took that away from her, she can't build connections with anybody, right? So while she's still able to be like a bridge because she brings people together, she can't form connections with anybody at all. She can't have that meaningful, like she can visualize, oh, this is my friend, right? She knows who her friends are just because of her memories, but she's not able to physically and emotionally connect with another person, right? Which is like fucking huge, okay? Like that, when that fucking scene happened, like I'm getting goosebumps again because that fucking, the soundtrack behind it really sold it too, right? My favorite OST track of all time is from this show, okay? I've used it before, I think. It was also played at my wedding, okay? Because of how impactful this song has been to me as a person, right? And that whole scene, like that entire scene, everything was pristine. The visuals, the animation, the music, the dialogue, the characters that were being displayed, the history, the lore that's going on, the writing, everything about that scene is peak to me. Okay, and anytime I watch, I can go back and watch that scene like a million times. I'll never get tired of it. Okay, I have watched this show close to 10 times, but I can, it definitely could be more. And every time I watch it, I always love it again. Okay, it's like if I'm watching it from scratch, even though I know what's gonna happen, it still has that emotional drive to it, and that scene always gets me. I'm literally still with goosebumps every time I think of that scene. Think of the soundtrack behind it. Think of the dialogue. Think of everything that was going on. Think of the characters, and the perspective of what it fucking means of all this shit that's happening. It really just gets to me. Okay, it really emotionally just pulls me back. It literally is like going back in time. You know how there's those shows where or those scenes in video games or movies or TV shows or anime or whatever the fuck, right? That you watch and like it takes you back to a moment in time. That's what happens to me. Every time I think of that scene, it just like brings me back to like the first time I watched it, and every subsequent time afterwards. And it's just like bam, 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 bam. Like it's too much. Okay, it's too much, but in a good way. And then like the rest of the show is like trying to get her back to normal, and I'm not gonna spoil the ending. Okay, if I ever do decide to like bring back the anime times, which I really do want to do. Okay, realistically speaking, I really want to bring those back because it was a good series on my channel, and it kind of gave me a motivation to watch new shows, right? Hey, let's go, Mini Man. What's up? How's it going? I want to remake my anime time for this show in particular because the fact that it has such a deep connection and deep impact in my life, right? And my fun. Dude, One Piece is great. I will admit, One Piece is a fantastic show. Like I was talking about it in the first draft of this stream, which was yesterday, which got completely fucked over by everything. That I regret not watching it or not continuing it when I was watching it during the 4Kids era forward, because as soon as they stopped showing it on like Western media television shows or television channels, I kind of dropped the ball with it, and then I ended up watching Bleach, which is like the worst of the big three. Oh no, I'm watching the anime. Like I decided to like go back and watch it from the beginning. The latest arc that I finished was Dressrosa. I think that's the last one I watched. So I'm taking a little break before I watch the next arc. But yeah, so like that's where I'm at. I know I have like a way more to go. Oh. But I think that's like the next. I know I have like way hella arcs to go. Like I'm like way behind. I think I'd have to look again, but I think Whole Cake is next, if I remember correctly. Or is there another one between Dressrosa and Whole Cake? Because I know like that's one of like the whole like next part, at least for what was shown off at the end of Dressrosa, is that they have to go against Big Mama. So that's where I'm at. But I'm definitely gonna continue watching the show. I'm not much of a manga reader because I don't like reading stuff on like the computer. Okay, I don't like reading manga on a screen. I'd rather have a physical. And I don't know if I can afford the whole like One Piece manga. I'm still like, there's a couple manga there that are mine and a couple that are my wife's, but like I still I don't know. It'll probably be a while before I do any reading of manga, realistically speaking, like that. If I ever like really start getting like good money, or if this becomes like a hobby that actually gives me income, then maybe. But for now, I'm sticking to the anime. Even though I have heard from some people that there are certain parts of the anime that aren't as good as the manga. So, it is what it is, obviously. Wipe that away. Now, where was I? Oh, right. So, like after that scene, it just becomes a clusterfuck of like trying to get everything back in order, and like it gets really intense. Now I'm gonna give you guys the little, I guess it is a spoiler in a sense, but realistically speaking, you won't realize the impact of it until you actually watch the show, if you decide to watch the show, obviously. But this is realistically speaking a romance drama anime, right? So what ends up happening is there's a lot of like, you know how in some shows, you know, you have your typical like three-way, or not three-way, but like yeah, well, actually, yeah, well, there's like three characters that all love each other in like different ways. Like one likes the one, but that one likes the other, and the other one likes. So like those like random ass fucking love triangles and shit. That's the word. A lot of shows tend to do like love triangles or love squares sometimes. Those are fucking weird. This is a love octagon in this fucking bitch. Okay, I showed you the characters before, but I'll give you a recap. And I said this in my anime time from like way back when. And I'll obviously, if I do recreate that anime time, then I'll obviously state it there again. Because like I said, I can tell you how it works, and you'll still won't understand the impact of it unless you actually watch what's going on. So here's how it goes. Okay, in the beginning of the series, like in the first half, right? Remember how I said you have the first half of the show, which is like the hijinks, the craziness, the kookiness, the trying to adapt to being from the sea and living on the land people taking in these people from the sea and trying to merge these cultures together and all that shit, right? All that shit's just, you know, they're happening. So, you have Hikari, who technically is in love with Monica. When you get that from Joe, okay? We know that from the fucking beginning of the show, okay? And then in the beginning, Chisaki is in love with Hikari, right? So like, oh god, this is a fucking weird ass love triangle here that's happening. But then you get Kaname involved, okay? Okay, remember, there's four of these kids. So realistically speaking, this would be like, you would see like this is like a weird love square, but it's more like a line, realistically speaking. Because Kaname loves Chisaki. Like, he's in love with Chisaki. Who's in love with Hikari? Who's in love with Monica? So the thing is that in the beginning of the series, They kind of give this hint that when they meet Tsumugu, Monica like has a crush on him, right? So now you get like this weird line of like Kaname likes Chisaki, who likes Hikari, who likes Monica, who now likes Tsumugu, right? That is like a clusterfuck of like what in the actual fuck is going on here, okay? You're just like, what the hell? This is too much, even for me, for anybody. Tsumugu doesn't care about anybody right now, okay? When the time skip happens, and as I mentioned before, Chisaki got stuck on land, right? She's the only one of the original four from the sea that aged. Right now she's like, they're 14, so she's 19 years old at this point. She's like way older than these kids, right? And when they come back, she's really, really trying to maintain the dynamics from before, right? Which doesn't work, obviously, because now she's older, she's lived a different life, right? All of them have been stuck down here, right? And the thing is, like I mentioned earlier in the stream, she's been living with Sumugu and his grandfather all this fucking time. So, obviously, 5 whole years, something's gonna happen. There's gonna be something there. And we find out that Sumugu actually is in love with Chisaki at this point. So now, here is our diagram before we move on to the rest of the shit. Kaname loves Chisaki, who loves Hikari, who loves Manaka, who loves Sumugu, who now is in love with Chisaki. So you have 2 people in love with Chisaki, and it becomes a clusterfuck. And then on top of that, we find out that Muna has had a crush on Hikari since before all this stuff happened, right? Before the time skip. So now you gotta add her into the mix. So now you have Chisaki and Muna who like Hikari, right? And then Sayu ends up having a crush on Kaname, right? And it becomes a huge, like I said, now it's a fucking clusterfuck of shit that's happening, right? So, again, here is now the new diagram, okay? Sayu likes Kaname, who in turn likes Chisaki, who right now, according to her logic, still is in love with Hikari, who also has competition with Muna, who has a crush or loves Hikari, who still is in love with Manaka, where at this point in time, everybody in the show has the inclination that Manaka is in love with Sumugu, who we now know has a crush or is in love with Chisaki. So you get where I'm going with? But here's the kicker, right? In the second half, because like I mentioned, it's been 5 whole ass years since these two have been living together. There's gonna be some emotions there, you know? So technically speaking, because of Chisaki's whole thing of like trying to maintain the dynamics of how the group used to be before the fucking catalyst incident, the fucking end of the world shit that happened that one night, fateful night 5 years ago, realistically speaking, she is technically speaking in love with Sumugu. So that love is now reciprocated. So these two should technically be together. But she is still of the mindset of like, if I am not like keeping the dynamics of the group the same, then I have to accept all the shit that happened. Like I said, all these characters are fucking depressed when the fucking when they come back from the 5-year hibernation. Okay, so like they all have to go through their struggles, and Kaname gets taken a big hit here too because he actually confessed to her before all the shit that happened, right? So she's had this in her mind this whole fucking time. So when he comes back and he finds out that now she likes Sumugu, he gets like full on depressive mode because, like I said, he's already like struggling with like existing in like this future landscape that he's not accustomed to. He was already fighting Hikari for Chisaki's love, and now he has to fucking deal with Sumugu. Like he's like, I thought I was next. Like this fucking crazy ass shit. And then, okay, it's as if this wasn't enough. And I'm not gonna say I know who the fuck he is because that's like he's really realistically irrelevant to the actual plot of the story. And honestly, I would never give this guy a second last. So I need to look for his fucking name because I don't even know if there is a name for him. Is it this guy? No, that's one of the friends. Fuck. Maybe it's him? No, I don't think so. No. Oh. I don't think they have a page for this guy. No. I don't see one. Maybe this one? No, I don't think it's this one. No, that's Grandpa. See? Okay, so... Hey, what's up, Dirta? What am I doing? Okay, so... this is... I ran a charity campaign like 2 weeks ago for children's cancer research, and there were some milestones on the campaign, and like the second one, which we hit the goal, right? So the second one was I was supposed to do a stream talking about my favorite anime, and people could talk about it in the chat. So that's what this is. This is the second milestone reward for people to talk and chat and all that stuff. So right now I'm talking about shit that happened in my favorite anime, like some of the wild shit that's going on. That it doesn't necessarily tie to what actually makes it my favorite anime, but it's like the only clusterfuck. I'm in the named country? Am I? Where does it say that? Is it like in the settings? Or in like the description or something like that? Because the category I'm seeing is film and animation, or maybe it's something else. Maybe you're seeing something that I'm not seeing. Yeah, I'm not seeing where that says it. Oh God, we hit 7 viewers. I was not expecting that. What is? I don't know what the named country is. Are you saying like the category of the stream? Or what my country is. Because I live in Puerto Rico, if that's what you're asking for. I'm going to assume that's what you're talking about. Okay, while you look at that. I want to see if I can find the name of this kid, but I don't think I can. Maybe if I look in her Immuna's page. Doesn't even say it on her page on the wiki. Okay, I'm not gonna find this dude's name, and like I said, realistically speaking, he's fucking irrelevant. But there is one kid, in the plot who confesses to Muna that he likes her, and like I said, he's literally unimportant. So I don't even count him. Well, you can count him in the diagram of like how these people like each other, but like I always put him to the side because he's not really permanent to like the actual characters of the plot, besides the fact that he has a crush on Muna. But he doesn't even do anything, realistically speaking. Like I think maybe at the end of the show, I'm trying to recall, like maybe he just happens to be around, but like oh, found him. I fucking found him. It took a little finding, but because like I said, he's realistically speaking, he doesn't do anything except for confess his love for Muna. But Atsuchi is the name of the kid. Um, but like I said, he's not really shown off really a lot, right? It's like this one episode that he just walks up to her and said he has a crush on her, he wants to go out with her, and she's like, "Nah, son, I'm in love with someone else." Um, and like he knows, like I'm pretty sure everybody at this point knew that. Like everybody knows that she has a crush on Hikari, right? Okay, I'm gonna need a second. I'm being asked for a favor by my wife, who always takes priority over everything else. So I'm going to be right. I really wish I had a coming back screen soon. I'll need to make one. Um, if I continue streaming and stuff like that, I'm gonna need to make one. So I'll be right back, and when I come back, I'll do like a final thoughts of my favorite show, and obviously leave it open for people in the chat to start talking about their favorites, and then we can go from there. So, BRB. I have returned. Okay, alright. One Piece cake arc is funny. We see Big Mom rolling. Gomu Gomu no eat eat. Well, I haven't gotten there yet. Like I said, I would need to check because I don't remember the next arc. Let me see. I'm gonna look it up right now. Because like I said, I just finished Desrosa. So what is the next arc? Oh, it is whole cake. Okay. Somebody's on Twitch. Oh. So okay, actually, it's Zoe, then whole cake, then Lovely. Lovely? That's where we are. Okay. So, technically speaking, the next arc I'm going to be watching is Zoe, according to the wiki of One Piece. The One Piece wiki. That is the next arc that is on my radar for One Piece. So I guess like the final part about my favorite anime, Nagi-no-Asukara / Nagi-Asu, A Lull in the Sea, for you all, it's fucking goated. Okay, the ending was fantastic, and it was a complete story. Okay, and I think that's one of the things I really liked about it. A lot of shows, I think during that time had no ending. Okay, there was no. They were either like cut off or like, oh, you have to read the manga to see the finale of this shit. And this was like a complete story arc, and I still like my wife bought me the manga, right? So I have it there. It's like only like five volumes. It's a really short series, but even though it's so short, it really left a big impression in me as an anime viewer. And like I said, there's definitely a lot of other shows I've seen since then that have things over this one. But I've never seen a show truly grasp all the concepts that this one show had, where it had like these amazing characters, this amazing lore, this amazing storyline, this amazing the visuals I think are peak for me personally speaking. I love the way the show looks. The art style is beautiful. Okay, I really love that. And it's just, overall, I think as a whole package, I don't think another show that I've watched has ever hit this peak. Okay, and honestly, I don't think that's a problem. I don't think it's bad. Okay, that a show that I watched all the way back in like 2000, I can actually look it up right now exactly. Because I made a review for it, obviously, because I had to. And even in that review, I was like, bruh. So, that's not what I want. Okay, there we go. So, this was 2015. Okay, this was a show I watched back in 2015, 2014, 2015, around that range. And it's always gonna have a spot. It's always gonna be something that it's literally been close to 10 years, okay, since I watched this show, and I can always go back to it. I don't know why I keep looking over here. The camera's over here. I always keep going back to it, and I have the same feeling I had to it, and I think that feeling is what's gonna rudeness. People are rude over here. But it's been 10 years since I watched this show, and I still have the same feelings. If I were to watch any episode, realistically speaking, any episode, and I'll still have that go back in time to relive it, right? But especially that one scene, okay, that is peak. Okay, that is like peak for me of the show, and like I can rewatch that scene over and over and over again. Have I tried Berserk? I have not, but I have heard things about it. Like, I think it was popular like last year, right? That's like when the peak Berserk conversation was going on. Like I said, nowadays it's really hard for me to like get to new shows. I've been so busy with just being an adult and adult life things that it's really hard for me to find a show that I have time to watch, right? The only reason why, like right now, let's see, the only shows I have going on are One Piece, right? Because I decided to go on that journey to like correct the mistake of me not watching it from the get-go, right? For me dropping it as a child and now having to catch up with all this shit, okay? So, like, so that's like the main one. And then like, obviously Pokemon, because I make the reviews for the channel, so I have to keep up with it, right? Especially since I'm enjoying it, so it's not like too much of a hassle to do that. And then like, did I finish? Okay, so I finished the anime before, like the what the fuck was that arc? It's like the last arc before they like canceled the show, right? I forget what it was called. It's when he had like he got the new Zangetsu shit. Oh, what the fuck was it called? I can look. I'm looking it up right now. Is it this one? I don't even think it was an actual canon arc. Was it? Let me check. It's like after like Ichigo lost his fucking powers, so he had to like relearn everything. Maybe it was this one. Was it this one? It might have been this one. Was it a filler? I mean, maybe it might have been a filler. I don't know if it was a filler arc or not. I really don't remember which one it is. Okay, I'm trying to recall, but it's like literally after they beat Zozen, right? And like, or Aizen, not Zozen, Aizen. After they beat Aizen, and then like he gets charted off to like the fucking maximum prison shit, right? And then Ichigo loses his powers because he used the infinite Zangetsu shit, right? And then they do this like whole ass arc of him like regaining his powers, and then like he gets like a new Zangetsu form, and then like he gets like this whole Quincy DNA shit. Like, bruh, at that point, like I just turned off. After that arc, which like I said, it was like the last arc before Bleach was officially was canceled for the first time, right? That I dropped it off there, okay? Because at that point they were seriously. Ichigo is just an amalgamation of every fucking single person in there, and it's just, bruh, that it turned me off from Bleach, to be honest. As for Infinite Stratos, I think I did, but not. I don't know. I might have watched both seasons, realistically speaking. I can actually look it up on my phone, on my thing, because I'm pretty sure I reviewed both of them. Mugetsu, I think that's what it is. I think that's what I'm talking about. Which was like fucking stupid. Okay, so I'm gonna look it up. I'm pretty sure I reviewed both series or both seasons. Yes, I did. I reviewed. Was this season 2? Yeah, I watched season 1 and season 2 of Infinite Stratus. Like, it was 9 years ago. Shit. Yeah. So like, my reviews are from like July and September of 2014. But yeah, those I don't remember much about them, the show. At this point in time, okay. But yeah. Do you think when will Fishman Island release Noah's? You know what? That's interesting. I can see that. I didn't know about Joy Boy being inside Luffy because I'm still getting into the lore of One Piece. Okay, I mean I'm pretty far in terms of like the actual story, but yeah. If it's that, then I can see that. Honestly, I think they should do that. I think they should do that in the final arc. There should be like another war, right? Obviously, when we're fighting Blackbeard and shit. And they should just release Noah's Ark there. Like that's when they have to do it. When like Blackbeard starts being a real problem for our heroes, just release Noah's Ark and get that shit over. Like the fish in the war or whatever the fuck. He's a Queen City Reaper, Hollow. Yeah, he's basically everything. They just said fuck it. Ichigo is everything. Like give him all the powers. And you're just like, why? What? How does that even make sense? Okay, why is he every amalgamation of this fucking? I'm surprised they didn't make him an Espada. Like, well, he's probably a Espada level to be honest. Like his fucking Hollow is at this point like maximum like level 0 Espada level shit. Like it's fucking ridiculous. They really fucked up his story. Like. I still remember, when was it? Oh god, it was definitely like years ago. I remember an interview with Kubo, and he was just like, "I'm just tired. I'm just trying. I wish I could have finished this series years ago, but the fans just kept asking for more, and I just had to keep writing." I'm like, that's how you know this man knows all the shit he wrote afterward was complete ass, because he was just writing shit to write shit. Like, I feel for that man, but goddamn, like the problem is that because it was elevated, it's the big three, it's the big three: One Piece, Naruto, and Bleach. So like, it's the fact that it got that such a prestigious title, and you're just sitting here like One Piece and Naruto are like up here, right? And realistically speaking, from an objective standpoint, One Piece is definitely higher than Naruto. But then you have Bleach way the fuck down here, and you're just like, how can you even get to this level? Like, it's bad. Like, and I feel bad for the guy because like he got put into a competition with something that he shouldn't have been competing. But I will admit. And I know I've seen a lot of this discourse recently in the anime community and stuff like that. Like all three of the big three, they all had their mark on like the anime industry. Okay, all of them had their things, and there's definitely a lot of current mangakas who use Bleach as an inspiration. And kudos to them, Like it has its props. Don't get me wrong. Like I'm over here and saying I hate Bleach. Okay, I don't hate Bleach. It's just like objectively, like moving forward and all the other shit I've seen, like I can't see Bleach like just hanging with the big dogs. I just can't. Okay, like I still have my affinity to Bleach. Okay, don't get me wrong, but it's hard. It's really hard, especially when Kubo was just throwing shit. It's like, let's just see what sticks. And like, I'm still insulted. Okay, I'm still insulted by the fact that they had this whole ass buildup of the head captain Yamamoto being the strongest being in the whole universe of fucking Bleach, and then like he gets one shot after activating his Bankai, which is fucking ridiculous. Because you're just sitting there like, it took like 2 Espadas and Aizen to defeat him, and like that's it's insulting. It is insulting for you to build this man up to be like, oh, if he activates his fucking Bankai, it's the end of the fucking world. Like, the whole society is just gonna crumble to dust and burn in fire. And the fucking guy gets one shot as soon as he activates the fucking bitch. It's fucking stupid. Like, it's just... Like I said, at that point, Kubo was just done with Bleach. He's just writing shit to write shit. JoJo's Bizarre... Oh, well, thank you, Marcia. I really appreciate it. Actually, if you subscribed and your subscriptions are active, I should be able to see it, which means I'll be able to add your name as the latest subscriber instead of Geo. So let me go ahead and do that, because I don't want to publicly post a subscriber on the streams if they're not actually like a live, like a public subscriber, because then it's like you're just like, whoa, I didn't sign up for that. So let me go ahead and check. Okay, so if I go there, and last 7 days, it might actually not show up until tomorrow. Actually, so if you are a public subscriber, then I'll see it tomorrow, and then what I'll do is that for the next stream, I'll have your name up there. As for JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, I know that the all the JoJos they're relatively popular. I think the only one that's not popular is like 4, right? No, it's 5. I think it's 5. There's one of them that I've heard isn't popular or people don't like it, but I've never been drawn to it. I think it's the art style, and it's not. Listen, this is me being a biased person when it comes to animation and stuff like that. I can say that I've never wanted to watch JoJo because of the art style, and I guess that's hypocritical of me, because technically speaking, like, animation and art style is not a dictator of whether a show is good or not. But I will admit that's bad on my end. How's my day? Everything's good. Everything's going smooth. I'm happy, knocking on wood, that the stream is actually working somewhat decently today. Okay, yesterday was a shit show, and like this stream was technically supposed to happen yesterday, but nothing was working, so I had to postpone it to today. But it seems working fine. So I wonder how your day's doing. Let me know how your day's going. JoJo Part 8 manga was finished. Now we have JoJo Lands. Wait, so is it like, are we doing like a side story with JoJo now? Is that what you mean, John? Or is it like this is like the next arc of like JoJo? Is this JoJo Lands thing? Because I know, like, I think from what I've seen is like every part has a different protagonist. But they're all like tied to like the main one, like Josuke. I think his name is Josuke. It was like the first JoJo or something like that. Oh, that's cool. We love everything when everything's going great with people. We don't want anybody to have a bad day. Never. We never want that. But I think the last thing I can say about, thoughts about Boruto. Okay. Oh my. Listen. John, I'm going to give you the honest truth from me as a huge fan of Naruto. Okay. When Shippuden was ending, I was at a point where I was like, you know what? Deserved. Okay, Naruto, you had a good run. Okay, it was an emotional finale. Okay, don't get me wrong. But like at that point, like the show just needed to end. Okay, realistically speaking, like Kishimoto needed a break. Okay, that final war arc was all over the fucking place, and like there was just a lot of things with it. Okay, and the whole like Naruto and fucking Sasuke are gods now. Like, bruh, like this is too much. It's too much. But so when it ended, I was happy. I was sad, but happy that it happened. Okay, I was. Don't get me wrong. Like it was one of those things where like, okay, this huge part of my life has ended. Okay, this story is done, and I was happy for it. Okay, I was happy that it was ending. And then they fucking announced Boruto, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? Okay, like why? Why would they do that? Why would they create a sequel right after the show, the series is ending? I was so upset about that. And then on top of that, Boruto is complete and utter garbage. They have the fact that like the first, I want to say like good like 3 or 4 arcs of Boruto are literally just Naruto and Sasuke and stuff like that. Like, yeah, like it just went overboard. And then like they did the biggest sin of all, and they killed my boy Kurama. And I was like, bruh, that's not even cool, man. I was so upset. Like there was just a lot of problems with Boruto, and every time I hear people talking about it, it just sounds worse and worse. Like I hate what they have done to this universe with this stupid saga. And like Boruto's like edgy. It's like they took Sasuke and they gave Boruto Sasuke's personality, but like he's not even cool like Sasuke, or he's not even interesting like Sasuke. And like his whole like even Sarada, which is like why would you make her this like angsty teenager when she's a child? Like she has like, why would Sakura end up with Sasuke, have this daughter that doesn't even like him, or doesn't even, that's not even appreciated by, like it's just a mess. The whole Boruto saga fucked over everybody. So I was sorry, I went on a tangent there because I just had to. Okay, Boruto, it really gets my skin crawling. And then as new arc, I'm assuming you're talking about JoJo Land, so that would be like the unofficial like JoJo Part 9, I guess. I'm not the pick. I'm 9. My name is Aiden. Well, welcome, Aiden. Thank you for joining. I don't know if a 9-year-old should be watching my content because let me just say I got I'm not the most clean channel out there, and I do apologize for, well, I don't want to apologize for that because that's just the way I am. The way I talk, I get all over the place. Oh, of course. I think I'm still at the stage where it's easier to like, because I don't get a lot of like viewers and stuff like that. It's easier to like talk one-on-one with people, especially in chats, because there's not like a lot of text that's coming in. So it helps. It really helps. And I'm not expecting to like blow up anytime soon. So you don't care, I'm good. I don't know about that, but I appreciate it. I think you should wait to actually watch my videos before you say I'm a good YouTuber, because I don't know if I truly could say that. But I try. I really do. The little face emoji. Bruh, Rock Lee drunk opening the 8th gate. I don't know about that. That's a little too much power for this universe. Let's be honest. I'm pretty sure all the old school like power like characters I'm pretty sure like if the powerhouses of the original series were to like tussle with some of these people, there would be no chance. And like the problem is like the original 12, they weren't handled to the best ability. So like, but I know for a fact most of them have like some crazy power scaling to where it wouldn't even be fair. It is 10:25. Well, on the East Coast. Well, I don't live on the East Coast, but it's like roughly. It's the same time zone right now, but when like daylight savings times, and we're an hour ahead because we don't do daylight savings. I need some water. Let me go ahead and fill up my dandy little cup. Apologies for the mess behind. There's a lot of stuff we're moving around and organizing. Okay. Oh, thank you, Blop. Yes, no personal information. We don't want anybody to be doxxed on this stream. Wait, isn't Michigan in the East Coast? I'm pretty sure it is. Oh, well, it's kind of in the East Coast. Well, it's a little more towards the middle, but roughly around that time. I don't listen. I don't know. I feel like Sage Mode was such a what is it? It was poorly handled per se, because I feel like the only time it was really used to its full potential was against Pain, and Nagato and then Pain and shit like that, because he didn't really do much with it. Like, I guess in the war it was like a mixture of like, oh my god power, Sage Mode, and Kurama mode, but like I don't fucking know, man. I hope, like, if they really do push this whole, like, now Naruto doesn't have the fox anymore, if Kurama is no longer with him, that he has to use his other powers. But realistically speaking, I don't know how they would handle. I personally don't trust the people writing Boruto to do Sage Mode stuff. Do we watch Vanbox? I have no idea what that is. I would have to look it up real quick. Let's see what is Vanbox? Is that like a show? Or like an anime? Like, what are we talking about here? Like a TV show? Or is it like a YouTuber? An anime app. Never heard of that. The only anime apps I have is Crunchyroll. I think that's it. Yeah, I literally just have Crunchyroll on my phone, and stuff like that. There are other. Well, I'm assuming you mean like Naruto's children, right? Or are you talking about like because of the split that happened in the beginning? Because technically speaking, if they bring back Minato, then they could just take it out of Minato's like dead soul and go from there. But like I did see something recently about Kurama, where supposedly like he's died before, but now I don't know if this is like stuff in the manga that's like recent or shit like that, but I saw that it's like he's died before and then he was reborn around the time of like the Leaf Village destruction in the beginning of the series, right? Where Minato and Kushina had to like go in there and like take care of business and then like seal it away, right? So like I'm wondering if what people are hinting at is the fact that technically speaking there is a way to revive Kurama to begin with, and then like honestly that the bromance between Kurama and Naruto is just like like they deserve to be together always. So, okay, so what you mean is, I'm assuming if the way you're saying it is that you're talking about when Naruto like shared Kurama's chakra all over the fucking war people, and then like for some reason they still have hints of it. If that's true, that's some fucking red. That's some fucking weird ass. Like, I don't know why kill at that point. Why kill Kurama? That's the only problem. The whole problem with them killing Kurama is the fact that now if you just write it off like, oh, he's just gone for good, right? Then Naruto has to like do other stuff. But like if they retcon that shit, then it'll have made all that build up and that impact for nothing. I hate it when they kill off characters and they just bring them back later because it removes the what happened when they initially died. Like it doesn't work for me personally. I don't think I like it. It also has some Netflix. Well, I have Netflix already to begin with. I already paid for Netflix, so I don't know. I'm assuming this is like a pirate app, which I have no issues against. Okay, I watch some the animes I can't find on legit streaming services. I find my website. I find my places to watch them when I do watch them. Okay, so no judgment there. It's just like I feel like it'd be unnecessary for me to download an app for stuff that I already have. I already pay for, you know. Naruto needs to master Flying, Riding, and Sage mode if Kurama. That is true. That is very true. Like I'm upset that they never even hinted at the fact that he can use the Rising mode because like his fucking dad invented the stupid thing. Like for fuck's sakes, at least because at this point. Like, realistically speaking, Naruto feels more like his mom than he does as his father. Like, because the only thing he inherited from Minato is the Rasengan. And even then, he didn't learn it from him. He learned it from Jiraiya. So I'm just sitting there like, okay, could you at least, like, for the love of God, do something similar to your freaking father? Like, show that you you can? Well, I guess summoning. Well, but then again, he got that from Jiraiya. Like, it's not something that he got from his father, right? So, like, the Flying Raijin, like, at some point, please, just at least attempt it. Do something with it. Well, I mean, I'm assuming it's free because it's a pirate. It's a pirate streaming service, stuff like that, where you pirate all the content that's in there. Which, like I said, I've used sites for this before, so it's not like a new concept. But I just don't think it's necessary for me to have it because I don't like watching stuff on my phone if I don't have to. So it's either on my computer or my TV. Like the only thing I do on my phone that's like watching stuff is like while I'm working and I have YouTube playing on my that's like literally all matters of, or if I'm like with my wife and we're eating on the table and we're like, you know, like, why don't we watch something? And then I'll put it on my phone or her phone, either one. Going back to One Piece, do you think Enel will help Luffy before he reach? That's a good question. Well, it all depends, right? Because, like, what does Enel have to gain? Right now, right? Like, see you later. Thank you for stopping by the stream. Hope to see you in future streams or future videos, stuff like that. And Nell's on the moon, if I remember. I mean, I don't remember where he got blown off to because I haven't seen him yet. But if he is over there, then I just don't know. I don't think he has the initiative or incentive to help Luffy. Like, right? That's the only thing. But he could, realistically speaking. Like, I don't see But I don't see. But yeah, thank you so much for stopping by. For also subscribing, because I never ask for subscriptions, so I always appreciate it when people do it. So you have a good night, rest up, and have a great weekend and a good week at school. If you do go to school, because I don't know. The other gods was mentioned, the Sky Islands thing. Yes, I do recall that. I just don't know. I don't know that. I don't think any of them have any incentive to go down. Like it depends how far like Blackbeard's influence can go. Because I'm pretty sure that's where they're pushing the shit, to where Blackbeard's like the last evil, like the last antagonist of the series. Because I don't think they're gonna destroy the world government. I highly doubt. Even though, like, from the main character's point of view, the government is like the worst thing in existence. Technically speaking, the pirates are the bad guys, right? So I don't think they're gonna fully destroy the world government. I don't think they're gonna be like the final villain or the final confrontation of the show. So that's my thing. Like, I don't know if Blackbeard is like the final antagonist, right? That they're really building him up to be. I don't know if his influence will reach the Sky Islands. That's my only thing. Like, I don't know if it'll be worth it for that to happen, because it works for the arc, and like for Fishman Island to get involved, because Jinbei is involved, right? Jinbei is a part of the crew, the Straw Hats. So that's like the only thing like I can see potentially. But I just don't know if it's actually worth it for any of the other gods to get involved. You want to see the Valley arc? Hold on, I fucking died. Hold on. The stream died. The chat died on me for a second. I want to see the Valley arc thingy where Garp and Roger teamed up against Rocks and won. They could. I don't know where Oda wants to go with this, honestly. Like, there's a lot of things that he can do for this final arc that he's building up. So, but like, I don't know how far he wants to take this, right? I don't know what threads he wants to close off, what storylines he wants to finish. But he could, realistically speaking, do like a flashback sequence. I don't see why not. Gar was considered as the hero after that incident. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, he could write where he does the whole like a flashback well, not really so much a flashback. Like, he could do, like, I don't know if you can do a whole arc. I think he could do what he could do. Okay, and this is just me spitting here. Do like a side manga specifically around like Roger and Garp's story, like after One Piece is done, right? After we finish the whole series, with Luffy and the Straw Hats and stuff like that, you can do a separate story of like Roger and Garp and Roger's crew and everything that happened around there. We can get some more with Buggy, and everything that happened there. Like, realistically speaking, you could do that, right? And then it ends with, like, well, I don't know how long you would want to make that, honestly speaking. Cause I don't know if you want like a full story of like Roger, but like just like a small storyline of like, this is what happened with them and how Garp became what he is and what led Roger to be executed and stuff like that. But honestly, realistically speaking, and this is coming from somebody like my favorite YouTuber is like a huge One Piece like fanatic. Like One Piece is his life, right? So I kind of agree with him that if Oda decides to follow the world of One Piece, I think the best potential candidate for a follow-up series is what is it? What did he say? I need to look at what he said. Because there is one character he mentioned. I'm trying to remember which one it was that he said. Kobe. That's what he said. He said Kobe should be like the next, like if somebody were to have a follow-up series, I think he mentioned that Kobe would probably be the best one because he's had a huge glow up throughout the series. Like ever since like the beginning to now, it's like a completely different person. I was thinking, what if One Piece actually ended? And there's Brook telling the story to... He could, realistically speaking. I just want Brook to reunite with Rabu. That's what I want. That man deserves it. Like he's the only one that he remembers. So but yeah, that's like the only, like from what I've seen, like and like I said, I agree with like my favorite YouTuber is Insane Game Freak. Realistically, make a follow-up story with Kobe as like the main protagonist. But like look at it from like the Marines' perspective, you know. I mean, he is immortal. Technically speaking, he can. Like Brook, I don't know how you can kill this man. Really, I don't think you can. So, well, like kudos to him. Like he could do that though. He, like, it could be one of those things where he tells the story of the Straw Hats and how they got to where they're. But now he's being chased by like the new era of Marines that are being led by Kobe. I could see him being an admiral by the end of the series, realistically. Personally speaking, I could see that. The way they're pushing that man and the parallels between him and Luffy are astounding, like realistically. So I can see it to where when Luffy ends, finishes his story and gets to the One Piece and all this other stuff that happens. Whatever the One Piece is, because at this point we have no idea what they're going to make the One Piece actually be. I can see Kobe being at least an admiral by the time that Luffy becomes like the pirate king and stuff like that. I don't think he's going to get like to be fleet captain. Like, I don't think he'll get that far, but I think an admiral would work. Do I think Kobe has all three? I don't know. I think he could realistically get to have all three, but I don't think he needs Conqueror's Haki. Personally speaking, I think he's just fine with like armament and like the concentrate or whatever. I can always forget what the other one is called. It's like concentration hockey or something like that. I always remember that. I always forget the name of the third one. But it's something like that, like observation. That's what it is. See, I had to look it up. Thank you. Yeah, it's observation hockey, and then armament hockey, and then the last one is just conquerors hockey. I don't think he needs conquerors, to be perfectly honest. Like, at all. I think he's fine with just the other two. Yeah, I think he's fine with just those two. I don't think he needs any of the other ones. Realistically speaking, I don't really think he needs conquerors. Dude, Garp in his prime has to be busted. I know it. I just know he has to be broken. There's no way he wouldn't be. Like, he tussled with Roger, and he's like the OG, like, greatest pirate in the world shit. Like, bruh. So I can see Garp being, like, really busted back in the day. It's almost 11. Okay, people. So this was a fun stream. But as you can see, I'm getting tired. I love the conversation. I really appreciate everybody that stopped by the stream. And I think I got 2 new subscribers, if I saw that correctly. Let me check and confirm. Yeah, because I was at 811, now I'm at 813. So, and one of them is obviously Aiden, who subscribed. Oh, 10, you want 10 more minutes, Blop? Okay. We can do 10 more minutes then. Do you think the fruit of Monkey D. Dragon used weather fruit? I actually don't know what the freak his devil fruit could be, honestly speaking. Have they mentioned it? I never looked it up. I'm not that far in the have they mentioned it? I don't know if they have. Yeah, they don't mention it. It could be something like that. It could be like something wind related or something like that. That would be interesting. I would be very interested to see what kind of devil fruit Dragon has. Because he has to have something cool and interesting. Because the way they're building, well, again, this is coming from somebody who's not caught up with the series, okay? But the way they've shown him off is like, this guy's dangerous. A lot of people are afraid of him. Like, people are surprised that he's the son of Garb, this all amazing Marine. Like, how the hell did his fucking, like, family tree turn out to be this bad? You know, like, his son is, like, part of the Revolutionary Army, and his fucking grandson is the fucking pirate looking. Like, bruh. Like, so they've made him sound like a badass. So I'm hoping to God that they do show off like a really cool devil fruit with him, and if it is weather related, that would be cool as well. Like, I would give them props for that one. I'm just surprised they haven't mentioned it yet. Then again, it's not like Dragon has truly like come in contact with. Well, again, from somebody who hasn't caught up with the series, I don't think he's made contact with his son recently. Right? I don't know if he's talked to Luffy recently. Maybe he has. I don't know. But I am looking forward to what they do with him and all the other fucking people in his army too. Like, also they need to save Kuma. I mean, I know Kuma is like kind of gone, but I kind of want him to come back because like it's not fair. They turn him into a machine. Poor Kuma. Kuma. Listen, I was afraid of Kuma at the beginning, and then like they made him out to be like this nice guy, and they turned him into a robot machine. Bring him back. Bring back Kuma, if they haven't already. Because like I said, I don't know. The last arc I caught up to was Dressrosa, and Kuma wasn't there, so I'm hoping that they bring him back and make him a good guy again. Bring him back to the good side. Well, our protagonist pirate group side. Because I can't say good guys, because technically speaking, all the pirates are bad. They're all bad guys according to society's standards. Oh my goodness gracious. Oh. I think I need to sneeze, so give me 1 second. Oh, excuse me. I do not want you guys to hear that stuff. I hate it when they sneeze. I can delete these. Let me do this real quick. Delete those. Pow. Okay. I guess to bring it back around before the stream is over, if you like any sort of like drama romance shows, I highly recommend the main one that this stream was about, which is my favorite show, my favorite anime of all time, Nagi no Asukara, or the English name Nagi-Asu, Alone in the Sea. Like I mentioned, it's on Crunchyroll. It's on Netflix, and you can probably find it in random websites around, your ARG websites. You can definitely find them. So that's me. I personally consider it my favorite anime of all times. Kaguya-sama was good. Oh yes, that's if it's the one I'm thinking of. What is there? What do I have? I might be thinking of the wrong one. Okay, yes. Okay, now that I look at it, I know which one it is. We watched, my wife and I, both seasons, and then like there was an extra one. I think it was like a filler season or something like that, and like we got turned off on it. But like season 2 was great. I love that ending. I think it was in season 2. Yeah, season 2 is when he confessed. That was a good show. We watched it a while ago, like 2 years. No, it wasn't 2 years ago, was it? My wife could probably say it in the chat. Blop, do you remember how long ago we watched Kaguya-sama? Because I don't remember how long ago it was. Your Lie in April, I think we also watched that one. Here, let me see. Or maybe we haven't yet. But I think we did. Question mark? It looks familiar. Oh God, brightness. Maybe we haven't. It sounds familiar, but I don't know if we have watched it. Yeah, last year. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm pretty sure it was last year too when we watched Kaguya-sama. Clonad, I think I did try that one, but I don't think I got too far into it. Yeah, I think I started it and then I dropped it at some point. But Your Lie in April, I don't know. I don't think like it looks familiar, but I'm not sure if we ever watched it. But yeah, Clonad, I did try it and I dropped it because I don't remember too much about it. Like there's very like my the way I watch anime nowadays is usually my wife looks at it, finds out about it, then we find out about it, and then we look it up. And if it's interesting, we watch it. But there's like very few shows that I go out of my way to watch nowadays. But I'm trying to get back into animes. But Your Lie in April is a pianist boy that fell in love with a violin girl who secretly hides her illness, and boy was emotional and put it in his piano playing, and she dies. Oh God! Wow, that's damn. That is fucking dramatic as fuck. But it sounds interesting. I mean, I don't know if my wife is interested. We can at least check it out. Like right now, we are watching. Oh fuck! Which one was it called? Oh, I don't have it here. Fuck. It's like, actually, I can look it up. I have Crunchyroll on my phone. It's that easy. I can just look it up on my phone. Okay. This me. Okay. I'll do that. Let's go. My Home Hero. That's the one Home Hero. That's the one we're watching right now. Which is like a dad who kills his daughter's boyfriend, who's like the son of like a mafia boss or some shit like that. It's fucking whack, okay? But it's interesting. We're enjoying it so far, but we took like a hiatus because we're watching the Fallout show on Amazon. Because she's like a big Fallout fan. I just like what I've never played it. I've only watched her play it, and so she's like full on lore heavy. Like I keep asking her questions. I don't know if she's able. She says she's enjoying the show, but I think I'm making it a little bit more complicated because I keep asking her questions about it. Oh my gosh, I'm just teasing you, baby. Don't get mad. One Piece, Pirates of the Caribbean, but it's kind of slightly different with this hockey and fruit. Yes. It's better that way. I just think it's funny because I have to stop her every once in a while, ask her a question about the lore of the universe of Fallout. So we're watching that. As soon as we're done with that, then we can come back to the dad hero, home hero, whatever it's called, which is good. It's so far it's okay. I'm enjoying it. So, but I think it's been officially 10 minutes. Which is what Bot said I should do. Just extend it a little bit longer. So, surprisingly enough, the stream went okay. I know we did have some stutters here and there. Potentially, might have lagged a little bit here and there, but it never crashed. Whoa, that peaked. Don't peak again, please. Let me lower this a little bit. Don't peak again. Okay, so it didn't crash, which is what happened yesterday, and I'm very happy about that. I really want to appreciate everybody that stopped by the stream. Okay, we peaked. What did we peak at? Right. We peaked at 5 concurrent viewers, and we've had 40 views so far, which is a lot. Like, that is crazy. And we got two new subscribers, which is amazing. Naruto, that time I became a Jinchuriki, parents died in front of me, and third Hokage was bruh, and became the greatest shinobi. Dude, Naruto, there's a lot of stuff about Naruto that's fucking wild. But it'll always hold a special place in my heart. I'm not going to deny that. Naruto will always be my ninja boy. Yes, Kami-sama Kiss, which is my wife's favorite anime. That was amazing. I love that as well. I love a good romance show every once in a while, you know? Yeah, that's just me. Maybe that's what I was built for. Drama and romance. With a sprinkle of shonen every once in a while. But yeah, so this stream is now officially over, technically speaking. Okay, I'm really glad that it, somewhat worked. Okay, I'm happy that it didn't crash, and that we were able to have a discussion. We got people talking in the chat. Really appreciate all you guys that stopped by. Thank you, John, for stopping by. Aiden, who was here earlier. And then Tirta and Minion Man. Thank you so much for joining. I'm debating. I'll have to wait and see if it works tomorrow. But tomorrow I will be trying to stream the follow-up to the Pokemon Emerald Catch 'em All Let's Play that I'm doing. But I might hold off until I'm done because I don't want to, technically speaking, that would be 3 streams in a row, and I'm not ready for that that mindset. So what you will get tomorrow is I will be recording Pokemon Horizons episode 49 ? I think it's 49. I don't know why I do this to myself because I can just look it up. 48. It's actually episode 48 of Pokemon Horizons, which I will be watching tomorrow morning. So I'll review that and upload that. And then next Friday, okay, hopefully everything goes well, but next Friday is the last milestone for the campaign that we did, that we reached. Buy and watch One Piece episode 847. Oh, well, you enjoy that. You enjoy that One Piece, okay? One Piece is great. Go to, and I'm probably in the next 2 weeks I'll probably pick up where I left off in the series. But next week, so next Friday, hopefully if everything goes well, then I will be streaming the tier list video of the Pokemon anime protagonist rankings that I promised you guys as a final milestone for the campaign. So that will be fun, especially for longtime viewers of my channel. They'll watch it and they'll be like, I knew that was coming. Stuff like that. So if you are interested, you're able to and you want to join, feel free to come by. I'll try to make it earlier than this stream, okay? Because I was a little late for this stream. But I hope to see you all there, and then we can talk and have fun in the stream on Friday. And the goal is for this week, the main big video that I'm doing is the special video that I said I was going to make. I'm halfway there editing wise with it from last week. So I'm hoping to finish the editing during this week and then have it upload this week. That's my goal, to get that done and then have it out to you guys. So hope you guys enjoy that when it comes out. If you do decide to watch it, I would really appreciate it, but you don't have to, but I really appreciate it. And then I hope to see you all next Friday with the Pokemon anime protagonist rankings, where we're going to talk a lot of shit, make a lot of people mad, and stuff like that. So, and as always, if there is content that you guys want to see from me, you can leave it in any of the videos, in the comment section of any of the videos. You can do it in the playback of this stream. You can even leave it in the chat, stuff like that. I'm always welcome to suggestions, because at the end of the day, thank you so much for the emotes. Well, not emotes, but the little emojis. Appreciate it. So if there's any content you guys would like to see from me, leave it in the community posts, the YouTube comments, the playback stuff, you know, anywhere, and I'll take a look at it, and I'll find a way to make it. Okay, no promises. Okay, but I always do try my best. But that's gonna be it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like I said, I really appreciate everybody that stopped by. And this is like my most successful stream ever, I think, realistically speaking. So I'm very happy about that. And I hope to see you all back here again in future streams. And I hope you guys, if you are interested, you watch the content on the channel, watch the videos, streams, shorts, you know, all that stuff. But that's it. I have been your host, SoresanCrockxen, and I will see you guys in the future. Well, my outro. Okay, I'll do my outro. I have been your host, SoresanCrockxen, and I will see you guys in future videos, shorts, streams, and everything in between. Bye-bye.